Welcome to Down and Out but Statistically Average. We are two friends turning our coping mechanisms into content, one episode at a time. I'm Connor. I'm a lifelong Notre Dame football fan. My co-host Nate here. He's a Texas Rangers loyalist, and in the throes of the baseball season here, we're going to get some updates real soon. We're not analysts. We're not experts. We're just two guys, and we have some mics with some strong opinions and questionable humor. Today, we have another special guest. Christian, who is a member of our Bible study group and been a longtime friend of both of ours. Welcome to the podcast, bro. How you doing, man?
Good. Thank you guys for having me this morning.
Absolutely. Christian's got a couple big teams where he is a avid supporter of, and we're going to get into that. But before we get there, we are going to switch over to those Texas Rangers since we're in the middle of baseball. Nate, last podcast, bro, you were excited, cautiously optimistic. You guys were leading the division. Where are you at now? Give us the update 2 weeks later. Let's go.
100%. Absolutely. Okay. So, Connor, 3 weeks ago, I sat here and or I think 2 or 3 weeks. I don't know. I sat here and I told you I was not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. That gift horse is dead. It's been dead for about a week and a half. And I'm going to walk you through the autopsy. Okay. So, we are currently 58-58. We are now second place in the American League West. We are a game and a half behind the Houston Astros, who are 60-57. And I want you to appreciate something with me here, Connor. Okay, this podcast is called Down and Out, but Statistically Average. As of this morning, the Texas Rangers are, in fact, mathematically exactly average. 500. Woo! We have won exactly as many games as we've lost. We finally achieved the title of the show. Just want to shout that out. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, so here's how it goes down, how it happened. July 31st, we went into Houston. They whooped us 11-2. And that game actually handed the Astros first place. And it was the first time they'd been in first place since like April 6th or something like that. And then they beat us again. Then they beat us a third time and swept us. And by sweeping us, they clinched the season series, which means Houston now for the full year has won more games than, against the Rangers than we have. So it's called the Silver Boot Series, and we have lost this year. It's been a very, very long time since we've done that. So that was part of a 6-game losing streak. Our run differential on the season is -32. So we're not actually a 500 team. We're a team that's been outscored by 32 runs and has somehow basically bluffed its way to 500. Okay.
Wow.
So here, the part that keeps me watching, because here's the thing that makes this team so infuriating to love. We are 21-12 in one-run games. 21-12. We can't score. We can't pull away. We can't beat Houston. But when the game is close, we win it almost 2/3 of the time. And because of that, right now, today, the Texas Rangers hold the final American League wildcard spot by half a game. Our playoff odds are basically a coin flip right now. We're at I think 46%. So I'm okay. That's just one thing. Couple of things I want to make sure to go into specifically. For any of that, Connor, I need to tell you the single greatest thing that's happened to me as a sports fan this year. 2 or 3 weeks ago on this podcast, I said, and I quote, I said that we needed to release Chris Martin. He's a reliever pitcher. He came out of a brief retirement to be with us. On August 3rd, the Texas Rangers got rid of Chris Martin.
Wow, they took your advice. They heard the pod.
Designated him for assignment. And I do want you to hear how they did it, because it was proper and it was beautiful. He was on the injured list. His third injured list stint of the season, the same right shoulder issue. They activated him off the list and DFA'd him the same day. Welcome back, get out. Final line for the season, 16 appearances, a 9.0 ERA, 14 earned runs in 14 innings. He is 40 years old. He came out of retirement to do this, and he cost us about $4 million and multiple games. So look, I'm just saying, I said it out on this podcast before, in 11 days, and then 11 days later, Chris Young did the exact same thing. I'm not saying the Texas Rangers front office does listen to this podcast, but I am saying it's weird that it worked. Okay. So that brings us to the trade deadline. That whole lot of different things happen. Crazy trades happening. The rich keep getting richer. We're not going to talk about Tarek Skubal and being traded to the Dodgers. We're not.
Ew.
We're not going to go there. I'm just Christian. We're just not. We don't like the Dodgers here. They don't exist.
No, we don't.
Yes. So we're in first place. we go out, we get some people on, towards the trade deadline. We go out and we get a random catcher, Logan Ohapi, and a reliever guy, Chase Silseth. I don't know who that is. We get them from the Los Angeles Angels, and the Angels are horrible. So I'm not inclined to be super inclined to be enjoying any of this. So then we go to Houston. Houston sweeps us. We lose first place. The trade deadline's coming up. Deadline day arrives. The Rangers reverse course completely. We keep saying that, none of our players are off limits for trades. Ken Rosenthal was reporting that 3 of our veterans, we went to 3 different veterans. We were like, hey, can you waive your no trade clauses? None of them said that they wanted to leave. We traded Josh Smith to Toronto for a lefty guy named Adam Mako. I don't know. Then we optioned him to AAA immediately. So here's the thing. We didn't buy, we didn't sell. We stood in the middle of the road with our eyes closed and we signed nobody. Nobody. CBS Sports gave us a D. Yahoo gave us a C-. The Score gave us a C. Bleacher Report filed us under loser deadline activity. And my favorite, D Magazine in Dallas ran the headline, the Rangers stood their ground at the MLB trade deadline. Now they're in no man's land. So I don't, listen, they do good things like, get rid of Chris Martin, but there's so many others. We went to Jacob deGrom and Corey Seager and Nathan Eovaldi, and all of them said no. deGrom, one of his quotes was, I want to be here. I believe in this group. I signed here to help this team win a World Series. And I'm like, that's what I wanted, but you were injured when we went down in 2023. So I just, and there's Corey Seager, and I can't do any of it, but we're going to see where it ends up going with, the cavalry coming in and some new casualties. So now Chris Young, the president of baseball operations, he was trying to defend the quiet deadline with a line that I actually kind of respect. What he said was, I believe that the additions we should have coming off the IL are as good as any trades that we could have made. And I'm like, I guess. And that's, I guess, what you say when your owner, I think it's Ray King, is too stingy to actually spend any more money. So, that's as best as you could possibly do. But hey, 2 of them did show up. We got Cody Bradford. He was activated off the IL, first time in a year and a half, our lefty pitcher. And he threw 4 1/3 scoreless innings with 5 strikeouts. We won 6-0. I mean, it was against the Giants, so it wasn't that big of a deal. But it's still there. Jordan Montgomery. I was literally on the phone with Bree the other day, and while I was on the phone, I got a notification from ESPN saying that Jordan Montgomery was activated off of the injured list. He was one of our starting pitchers in the rotation for our 2023 postseason run. We signed him at the trade deadline back in 2023. And we got Jack Leiter, who's feeling better. Josh Young, a key hitter, who is hitting .294. He's doing much, much better, but he's doing better, but it's going to be a little bit longer of a haul than I actually wanted to admit. So there's so many good things, but our offense isn't one of them. The single most important Rangers statistic that I've ever put in front of you. Here's how it goes. On this show a few weeks ago, I told you our slash line was 244, 319, and 398. And today, 20 games later, our slash line is 244, 317, 401. 20 games. The batting average is identical for the past 20 games. We are 26th out of 30 in runs scored. We were 25th. We didn't get better. We didn't get worse. We just existed. Corey Seager's back. He's hitting 198. He sucks. Jake Berger, our RBI guy, has gone 9 straight games without a home run or an RBI. Jock Peterson has been genuinely excellent. 21 home runs, team lead, 6 of them in his last 17 games. We got Brandon Nimmo. He's doing fine. Ezekiel Duran, doing fine. And Jacob Latz, our closer, is still dominating. 1.87 ERA, the best closer in the American League right now. So,
wow, that's awesome.
I can't wait. And I do see some good things, but here's the bottom line where all of this stands. Let me just wrap this all up for you, okay? 46 games left in the year. We are second place by a game and a half to a team that already owns the tiebreaker. We're holding the last playoff spot by literally half a game. So we've got coin flip odds here. We've got an offense that hasn't changed in 3 weeks, and a front office that looked at all of it in July and decided to find out. And I should be done. Every single year, I tell you that late August, I've checked out. There's no more reason to watch, and I'm tired of being lukewarm about this team that I adore so infuriatingly much. But they asked Jacob deGrom if he wanted out, and he said, "I want to be here." And you know what, man? At the end of the day, I am a Texas Rangers loyalist. Okay, that's the word I made Connor put into the intro here, Christian, and this is why. So, if the best pitcher in the organization can look at a 500 ball club in a bad division and say, "I want to be here," then I can watch 46 more games. We are down and out. We are statistically average, exactly, literally, mathematically average, but I'm still not going to go anywhere. So
the real question is how are you down and out now?
I am down and out now. I can't. It breaks my heart to see. It's not even suffering. Like I kind of wish we were either horrible or fantastic. Like I'm so tired of just status quo. I don't know. That's where I stand.
Cruising.
Anyway, Christian, heck of a lead-in. What's going on with you? What I understand is you have some thoughts on some sports teams as well.
Yeah. Well, since I got baseball brain going now, I'll go ahead and talk about. So I'm a Diamondbacks and a Rays fan, so kind of an interesting combination.
We love
that World Series.
Yeah.
Investigated.
The Rays, though, man, constant rivals. So, Connor, why'd you invite this guy? Just what is this? What's going on? I'm just kidding, Christian.
So
what's going on with them, though? I actually haven't been following either team very well, so you actually need to fill me in.
So with Tampa, so basically we had a great start that has actually continued. I wasn't really all that hopeful early on because I've seen this story before play out last year, where it's like, okay, this team's expected to be one of the worst teams in the league. And they do what the Rays do and still end up being really good. And they were actually, I think, first in the division for a while.
Yeah.
And then their lack of overall talent actually caught up to them. Mm-hmm. And, pitcher injuries, because, yeah, that's great. Could have the best pitching rotation in the entire league if, they were healthy.
Yeah.
But so my hopes were not particularly high going into the year. That it would maintain and be like, okay, we'll see where this goes. I've seen this happen before. And we're like past the All-Star break and they're like actually still playing well. So this team might actually have a legit shot to make a run.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, so
what needs to happen in order for that to be able to actually pull off? Because here's the thing: what if you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the Rays consistently make it into the playoffs. They just don't always make it very deep. It's just a question of how far deep too. But do you feel like this could actually be a year where they could actually make a genuine run here? What do you think?
Well, first off, converting Griffin Jax to a starter was not something that I had on my bingo card for this year. But somehow he couldn't work as a starter for us. But then we turn him, or as a closer, but when we turn him into a starter, now he's like fixed all of a sudden. That makes sense out of that. I don't get that one. I really don't. I love Griffin Jackson. I don't understand how, okay, you can't throw one good inning, but you can go and give 5-6 elite innings. Okay, bud. I don't know, man. But that's helped tremendously. I think the key is the offense has to not average like 2 or 3 runs a game. Like, they actually have to do well because Tampa always has good pitching. Whoever that pitching coach, I think it's Kyle Snyder. Whoever it is, they find guys out of nowhere and always field good bullpens, and they just like pick these guys off the street sometimes. I swear that's how it goes. So the pitching has to be good. We actually did make moves, which is rare for Tampa. If you know anything about us, we have like no budget whatsoever, don't spend money, and hardly ever make trades. So there's that. But we actually did something. We acquired Freddie Peralta, which
I was about to say. I was like, hey, I know he's having a downer year. What'd you get him from the
Mets,
right?
Yes.
Okay.
But here's the thing, they're the Mets, so take that with a grain of salt. Because I was looking at his numbers, and dude, he's been like, I've known Freddie Peralta. He's really he's been a very good pitcher for a long time, and even his numbers last year were solid. And this year, there's just been such a big fall off.
Wasn't he an all-star last year?
Probably.
I feel he was doing. I mean,
he had
people know
like
who
a
Freddie
high,
Peralta is. Even I know who he is, and I
yeah, he
don't
had like
really
a
follow the
like a
Rangers.
3.7 ERA and I think like a 120 WHIP last year.
Really?
And he gets a lot of strikeout. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like these past couple of years at Brewers, he's been good. So I think it's just a Mets thing, honestly.
I
think if we can get Freddie pitching like he has in the past, I think that's a huge key. Honestly, just the pitching staff staying healthy, nothing going wrong there, and then the offense. If Caminero can continue to do what he's doing,
yeah.
if Aranda can continue to be a solid hitter, Yandy keeps doing what he's doing. Dude's amazing as a hitter. Chandler keeps getting on base, and we actually bring him in. I think those are the keys to this team is that we need to continue to play Rays baseball, the gimmicky stuff, the small ball, the bunting, the using the speed, getting on base. We're not going to blow anyone away with huge power. So it's just basically how we've gotten to the point we have is by just we have better pitchers, and you can't hit our pitching, and the offense does enough. Like that's been the recipe.
Because here's the thing is Connor, you remember like for all of last year, the Rangers had among the best pitching rotations in the entire MLB, but without any sort of producing offense or even just okay offense, we had an abysmal offense. As a result, we finished right around like 500, and we've been doing that consistent. So to your credit, I mean, you guys are what? I feel like you guys are like 60 something. I mean, you guys are a good 10 games above 500. I know.
Rays
so it's not.
They're 69 and 46.
Your offense is more than decent, and your pitching must be excellent, just based off even just the proxy knowledge.
Rasmussen has been great.
Yeah.
Jax has been really good. McClanahan did just go on the IL, but it shouldn't keep him out too long. So I mean, he's been really good. Brian Baker taking over as the closer, he's been excellent.
Yeah.
Like Ryan Baker, he was a middle reliever. Like I don't know how Tampa does this, man. The rotation's been good. Nick Martinez, I swear they do this every year. They find some vet that's been solid in the past but not great, and he's pitching at like a Cy Young level nearly. I mean,
that's awesome.
Like
that's great,
dude. That's one thing Tampa is
the
good
magic
at.
Pixie dust that they just
dude, for real.
It's delicious.
So that's where Tampa's at. I mean, we're ahead of the Yankees right now. Yeah. And then
I love talking to people in the
us,
American League. I love talking to American League fans.
And then Boston might need to actually be investigated though, because they're on an insane run right now.
They
and
are.
I don't know, dude. I don't know what happened. They didn't even do that much at the deadline. They didn't make any crazy changes, and all of a sudden
they had one of the worst starts to the season in like baseball history.
They were not good.
It was atrocious.
They were not good.
No, they were
atrociously
bad.
Talk about magic pixie dust. Like
yeah, dude.
The whole season
and I was just looking because like I play fantasy baseball, so like I keep up on this stuff, and I'm looking at some of my Red Sox players like Rafaela and Durbin, and I'm like, dang, Durbin's starting to hit well now. Rafaela's been great for them, and it's like, okay, Yoshida's back and actually playing for them, and he just had another 2-hit game. So like, it's I don't know, man. We'll see. It's gotten a lot more interesting, I'll say, with Boston all of a sudden coming out of nowhere. So we'll see about that.
Yeah.
As far as the Diamondbacks go,
I was gonna say, like, come on, they've got to have something going for them. Because here's the thing, I just want a disclaimer. I have no bad blood against the Diamondbacks whatsoever. I'm not like, surprised, we got you guys. I don't have any feelings about the Diamondbacks, just like in general. My brother lived in Phoenix for a long time, so he's kind of like a hybrid Rangers and Diamondbacks fan. So that was really funny when the World Series
interesting
came around.
combo.
But but Diamondbacks are genuinely great. But I feel like they're not doing quite as well this year. Am I right? Like where do we stand though?
Well, honestly, I think we're a little bit better off than we were last year at this point in time. So with 2023, dude, that was a magical run. I was just thrilled that they made it as far as they did. Honestly, like the fact that we had no business, honestly, getting through Philadelphia, and just somehow this team just in their chaotic way, like our mottos become embrace the chaos. And I feel like that encompasses Arizona baseball perfectly.
I love that.
Because that's like, I can't believe we made that World Series in 23. That was as a Diamondbacks fan, I don't get to experience a lot of
snakes alive,
a lot of positivity. So that was cool. But as far as this year goes, Dude, I was like, I'm hoping because recently Arizona's like actually been willing to spend money because a long time they were kind of like the Rays. They didn't make a lot of big moves, but they've started to become a little bit bigger market and they've actually spent money. And of course, the second they spend money and they sign Corbin Burns, I couldn't believe they actually did that. And you want to know what happens to Corbin Burns? Corbin Burns gets a season-ending elbow injury.
Of course.
Yes. Now, there's a chance he
Uh,
could come back this year. He should, I believe, be able to pitch for them this year. But that
I'm
was a
laughing
massive
because
blow
it's like,
last year.
I could have, yeah. Big signings always follow, unless you're
So-
the Dodgers, in which case, you can have
Yeah,
the
well,
8 best
you know.
starting pitchers.
Oh,
in
you're
the entire
what? You
league.
two of your
They're all
pitchers
healthy.
get hurt? Oh, just sign more.
Oh yeah,
trade
just
for Swan.
sign the rest of them. Oh yeah, Paul Skeens. They'll get him eventually too.
They probably
They
will. Let's be real.
They will.
Flex the budget. Flex the
But like
budget.
last year, what happened was our team was really good. We got Corbin Burns in their rotation helping out. We still got Gallen. He hasn't been as sharp lately, but But then not only does Burns get hurt, we sit down AJ Puck. AJ Puck was great. Justin Martinez was great. You want to know what happened to both of them? They both get hurt, out for the season. So as you can imagine, we still almost made the playoffs last year, but choked at the last minute again because it's like the second straight year we've done that where we've like lost the last series of the year to either like the Astros or I think it was maybe the Mets or something last year, and missed the postseason because of it. So that's wonderful, but the fact that the team's even been that close, it's because of the offense. If I had to sum up Arizona baseball in one word, it is chaos. I'm so used to them being just like a 500 team. That's like the second they get over 500, they go right back down to it. Like
You're describing my Texas Rangers. So
that's basically
I'm right
what-
there. Yeah.
That's basically what being a D-backs fan is normally like. And so the fact that we're actually playing, we're actually a few games above 500 right now.
You're
So
16
it actually,
and 54. I just looked
Yeah,
it
I
up.
was
I
just
was
looking it
surprised to see
it
that.
feels pretty good. So we just beat the Dodgers last night. Yeah. That
Yeah.
Walt Schmidt
Let's
walk-off
go.
home run was awesome. Yes, sir. I think we actually swept them at some point this year, if I remember correctly, last time we
What?
played them. I think so. I have to double check that. I might be confusing that with another series. But
that's awesome.
yeah, this year we've actually we've been good despite not having Burns, despite not having Martinez and Puck, and they're expected back. Martinez is actually rehabbing right now. He's getting close. I think Burns is going to try to be back at some point. And then Puck, I think something might have happened with him. I don't remember because he was supposed to be back by now. I'll have to check that. But we actually have a pretty good team right now, and that's with Zach Gallen being awful this year and forgetting how to pitch, apparently. I don't know what happened. Like, Zach Gallen, I don't know. I think he needs to, reinvent or something because he's a way better pitcher than this, and he's had, a 6 ERA the whole year. I don't know what's happened to him.
Dude, I still remember game five of that World Series, and he went 7 innings deep without allowing a single hit.
He's been our ace before we got Burns for the longest time.
Nasty. Yes. Yep.
But we haven't really had a lot of pitching rotation depth. And then we signed Eduardo Rodriguez, and he's been fantastic this year. That's been huge because man, we need that. And now we got guys like Mitch Pratt and Cole Drake holding rotation spots right now. And Mitch Pratt just spun a gem the other day. But we're getting by with a banged up pitching rotation, and Gallen wasn't even pitching well. We basically got Eduardo Rodriguez, Merle Kelly, and he's been up and down. He just had a really good start last night, though.
Did he? That's who it went back to. We signed him. We had him last.
Yes, and then you gave him back.
And then I never ended up looking up where he went back to, but he just kind of disappeared.
We brought
I
him
was like,
back.
what happened?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's stabilizing, but still kind of shaky. Who's the other guy we got? Oh, it's escaping me right now. But we brought back Paul Sewald, if you can imagine that. And he's been great, except he just got removed from the closer role a week ago because he's blown a couple saves, and they're like, yep, nope, that's enough of you. So he's pitching low leverage now, but he'd been great. And now we got other guys doing really well. Brandon Garcia, who we acquired in a trade last year from the Mariners, and some of those trades. He's kind of like the co-closer, but he's been a really good lefty. He's been really good for us. Our bullpen is something that usually I'm used to just our pen blowing games for us, but this year it's actually been pretty good.
That's awesome.
But it's actually been pretty good, and maybe even better than the starting pitching. But then here's the thing: if Arizona is going to make the playoffs and, dare I say, even push the Dodgers, which is probably not going to happen, but it could.
Please.
The offense. this offense is what's going to do it. It's going to be Corbin Carroll getting back into peak form and being Corbin Carroll. It's going to be Perdomo getting back into form. It's going to be guys like Waldschmidt doing what he did last night. We have some of the most like random guys contribute sometimes. We got Tim Tawa helping out right now.
You guys have so many of some of the key hitters that you had even back in 2023, which is, I mean, just even look at. I was just taking just a brief peek. I'm not going to think that I was. I actually know what was going on, but I was looking, I was like, oh, apparently Ketel Marte, not only is he still on your team, but he's actually doing really, really well right now, evidently. So he
has been phenomenal for so long. He needs to play well. Perdomo plays well. Carroll plays well. Yeah, that's the thing. If these guys can be consistent and find consistency and the rest of the lineup can help out, Nolan Arenado. So I love Nolan Arenado, but he has like fallen off for the last few years with the Cardinals, and I think part of it's just the Cardinals, like whatever they got going on there, their aura hasn't been very good. I think it's gotten better lately, but like they had him and Paul Goldschmidt, and I was like, dude,
Goldie, I love Goldie.
That team I feel like underperformed. Yes, dude, Goldschmidt was like, when I got into Arizona, he was like the man. That was awesome. But I love Nolan Arenado in Colorado, and he left because Colorado is just terrible. And we took a shot. We signed him, and I was like, okay, I love Nolan Arenado, but is this the same Nolan Arenado that I grew up with? But he just hit another home run last night. He's up to 17 homers. He's actually been really, really solid for us. And he surpassed my expectations. So I'm having fun with that.
100%.
First base has kind of been a weak spot for us. I'm not sure who we're playing there right now. I know we got Locklear from Seattle last year, but I'm not sure how much faith I should have in him.
What, are you subbing in a utility player for first base
right now, or what? I think so. I think Tawa's been playing first, and then I'd have to check. We waived Thomas, which kind of hurt me, but it is what it is. I thought he could play first. I don't know. I'm gonna have to check up on that. But
what are you looking forward to most? What do you think is what's the most controversial opinion you have right now about the Diamondbacks? Just going point blank. Controversial, hot take, or prediction?
My hot take, let me see. We are capable of beating anybody. We can blow up any ace. We've done it I've watched us do it many times before. I think we like nuked Kershaw for like double-digit runs in the first inning like a decade ago or something. One of the things we're really good at is late game comebacks. The seventh inning comes and all of a sudden our offense just gets like 10 times better. Yep. So my take would be this team, if they get hot at any time, can make it to the World Series. Like they have that ability. They've done it before. And I mean, Brandon Pfaadt is up now and he's pitching really well and he's going to be starting tonight against the Dodgers, and he had a really good start against them last time. So, if all the hitters in the lineup are hot and our pitching is healthy enough and performing well, this team could be, kind of under the radar right now. But I really think the Diamondbacks are a threat. Like just the style of way that we play. Yeah. Like I think they're a threat.
I think that's an accurate take based off of everything you said. I know nothing about the Diamondbacks, but based off of what you've said, granted, it's all true.
He's being cautiously optimistic, but
Well, because I know we're capable of sucking.
Average, Connor. That's what we're doing. Yes.
Yeah. Arizona's capable of there's some bare bottom games where you're like, is this even a good team? And then there's games where it's like, oh, we could beat anybody.
What's your take on all this, Connor, Mr. Not Baseball fan?
Well, yeah. So for me, I mean, by the way, Christian, thanks for sharing all of that, man. It's great to learn about that,
dude.
Man.
I'm just immersed in this. This is great. I've not seen this side of Christian before. Usually it's it's Bible study type stuff. So it's like
this is awesome.
Man, I never would have called it.
This is great. This is so awesome. Oh, Christian, I'm gonna transition and talk a little bit about Notre Dame. I'm gonna bring up some Scarlet Knights because I know in college football side you're a big Scarlet Knights fan. So we'll get some updates from them. Oh, he's got the R on the shirt. Yes, sir.
Fun fact, right. I had never heard of the Scarlet Knights until 12 hours ago.
Yeah. I had to prep you for them.
I love the Scarlet Knights. They're great.
Yeah, up in Jersey.
Come on.
So,
all right, Connor. Talk us through.
All right. So here's a big thing, transitioning from the baseball diamond to the football field, because fall camp has officially started in college football. Unlike some years when we're spending August trying to figure out who the quarterback is, whether half of our roster is healthy, this Notre Dame team is coming into camp level-headed, and they have a clear identity. CJ Carr is back. Most of the defense is back. We have more returning starters on defense than any other team in college football. So experience is high, expectations is high. We have some real questions that are coming, especially really amongst that offensive line. We've got a lot of talent. We've got running backs that are coming in. So we've got Aeneas Williams, Kedron Young, Nolan James, a couple freshmen coming in, but they have to replace the number 3 overall pick, Jeremiah Love, and the number 31st or 32nd overall pick, Jadarian Price. So they were 2 first-round running backs that we just had. So they have a lot of expectations coming in to try to fill that. And so we want to see, as fans, we want to see, what are these guys bringing to the table? You can't replace that production, but we want to see what can you bring? What's the realistic expectation for us as fans to have of your talent? What can you bring to the team? So we're getting our first look also at fall camp with some freshmen that have come in over the summer. The team's moved into a brand new football facility, and that's something that I'm going to talk a little more about. They spent a lot of money and invested a lot of money, got a big donor that gave a lot, and so there's a brand new facility. That's exciting. And
let's check out the tuition prices over at Notre Dame, guys.
I'm not going to talk about that. I ain't talking
But new
about
football
that, bro.
facility, I'm all about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, well, listen.
Come on.
The reality is the football facility and the football team is the moneymaker of the university. We all know it.
Yeah.
But listen,
I just like
if they
giving
didn't have it,
giving
I
you a
think the
hard
tuition
time.
could
you know?
cover a lot of the costs. You know? Oh my gosh, private school tuition.
It goes both ways, because here's the thing.
Yeah.
Notre Dame, from what I understand, is a diehard fan base, even if it's constantly frustrating to be a Notre Dame fan. It is not. It is easy to be a fan. It is hard to leave, even when you really should, for your own emotional and or mental well-being. So that's what I understand. So
Yeah,
come
it's
on,
like
come on.
It's like being
What
a
are we
Rangers
looking
fan. It's the same thing.
That's why we're here. It's why we made this podcast, man.
Yep.
All right, I'm
So,
sorry. Keep going. Come on.
Before we get on the practice field, we're going to talk about the team and how it's operating now. They're officially moved into the Jack and Kathy Shields Family Hall, so that's the new football facility. It's a new football operations building, and it's on the east side of campus. So the team got its first look inside this building in late July. They just finished all the construction over the summer, and they fully moved in, and it also has a new locker room. It's got like training tables, physical therapy, facilities within it. So it's really like a brand new, facility for the Irish. Because before that, we were this is a big upgrade. We were in this complex called the Goog, and it was a really older facility that hadn't been updated since like maybe the 80s. I saw Chris Zorich, who was an NFL football player, played for the Irish back in the 80s under Lou Holtz, and he basically talked about the Goog and like how when they got the updates, they were like, "This is the best thing ever." It's been almost over 30 years, and they've gotten no updates now until
Who
now.
picked a name like the Goog?
Well,
What that? Oh,
I want you to inject that into just some random conversation with like no context, and I want you to see what the people in the conversation say that they think it is, because I don't think any of them are going to choose what you just said it was. I just need to call that out really quick.
Yeah. The Goog is an interesting complex.
Okay.
So, but Shields Hall covers more than 150,000 square feet. It sits directly across from the indoor and outdoor practice facilities. So within, as I mentioned, there's a new locker room. There's advanced training rooms. There's a standalone sports medicine facility, meeting spaces, a 2-level team auditorium. They have like an experience room where you like walk through, and it's for all the recruits, and you can see the old uniforms. They do the Shamrock Series uniforms. They have them all listed out. They show all the NFL different players, different statistics about how many Notre Dame players are in the NFL draft picks, things like that. So they've really modernized to get up to game with the recruiting, because that's a big selling point for these recruits.
I was gonna say, the recruiting drive in general, y'all seem to be quite well known for having kind of a Nick Saban level of, I don't know, accruement guru.
Marcus Freeman is definitely not under Brian Kelly. I know, Christian, you probably remember Brian Kelly at LSU and at Notre Dame. Yeah, he was not a good recruiter. He was just not a good recruiter at Notre Dame. I mean, I'll give you a quick stat. He had, I think, in total 6 5-stars over his 10-year coaching period at Notre Dame. Marcus Freeman, this is going into his 5th year, has 14. So it's like night and day. You've pretty much tripled the 5-star recruits in half the time. It's incredible. But I'm going to transition more towards the actual first fall camp practice that we had Thursday, August 6th. The media was allowed to watch the entire session. That matters because Friday access was much shorter. So Thursday was the first, Friday was the second, and it mostly was just stretching and individual position work. So you don't really get any meaningful on-field observations of the team coming into the first practice. The first thing that stood out was how comfortable the team looked on both sides of the ball. So a lot of the beat reporters, they've been putting out different reports, specifically about the offense. So Mike Denbrock, the offensive coordinator, had a press conference recently, and he said that CJ Carr's experience now allows the offense to install more variety and move deeper into the system. So Jordan Faison, who's going to be wide receiver number 1, said that the players are already working through more of the details and nuances of the offense than they were at any point last year. And another thing that you kind of throw in together with it, they had a bit of a leg up on really a lot of rest of college football in terms of the larger teams, because we didn't go to a bowl game. We got left out of the playoff, and we declined to go to the Pop-Tarts Bowl, which I'm not about.
Technicalities in politics, not on merit or anything like that.
So they had another month to prepare, and that's really a month longer than any other team. So that's a big advantage in terms of getting into the playbook, studying it, developing the offense, getting comfortable, throwing routes with your wide receiver if you're CJ Carr, building the relationships, building the camaraderie earlier. So they have a bit of a leg up, and the coaches have really noticed that. So really, Notre Dame's not teaching CJ Carr how to be a starting quarterback for the first time like they did last year. The offense is not learning Mike Denbrock's terminology from scratch like they were last year. The defense is entering its second season under Chris Ash instead of trying to learn an entirely new structure in which they went from mainly a man-heavy team under Al Golden, the previous coordinator. When we got Chris Ash, which I think, Christian, you'll know, he was a coach at Rutgers at one point. I think he was a head coach. But now as our defensive coordinator, he's bringing in like more of a mix between, the man and also zone coverage. So he's more of like a more nuanced in his defense, and he likes to mix it up more than Al Golden did. Al Golden was all man.
Here's my question in all this, and stop me if I'm wrong here, Connor, but the reason why you guys lost I think it was the 2 games that y'all did last season was because, well, at least ostensibly, that's what you and I kind of chalked it up to, was the swapping out of your main defensive coordinator. And then finally the defense settled in. So maybe I'm crazy, but based on what you've actually been alluding to in the lead up to the 2026-2027 season coming, is I'm not necessarily nearly as inclined to be worried about the offense as I am the defense, especially getting off to a shakier start earlier on, which can, as we now know, severely affect your chances of actually moving on too. So do you have any concerns about the defense actually being able to pull it off and remain stable and consistent in that area?
Honestly, no. Last year, absolutely. Because whenever you have a change of coordinators and you change really the dynamic even between the coaches, obviously there's going to be missteps. There's going to be misunderstandings. We talked about that a few podcasts ago, how, you have to gel even as coaches, and that's going to bleed on to the players. This year, and I mentioned one of the big things that changed after those first 2 losses, there's mixed reports. But what I think happened is Marcus Freeman had to sit down with Chris Ash and said, hey, you're running a defense that I didn't run last year. We need to run a defense that is to the players' strengths. We understand that you have this NFL experience and you've been a coach a long time and you have these philosophies, but put those aside and do what works for the players. And you saw after that the schematic change, and then again the defense started becoming elite because they were actually calling play calls that were to the players' skill set advantage. And that's big in college football because these kids don't have time to study the playbook like an NFL. It's not a professional career. Even though they're getting paid like professionals now.
You can't,
but
copy paste defensive planning, especially when you're talking about college kids. You can't do that. These guys
100%.
they can be dynamos, but
and these kids actually are studying.
They're not going to be routine or scheduled, but they can't be forced into being something that they're not. Maybe you can do that to NFL, sort of, but
it's not going to work in college, right?
Well, NFL, that's their career. These college kids, they're going to classes. Like, they
Yeah.
have a whole life. You have to account for when their girlfriend breaks up with them, and they're just, they're 18, 19 years old, and they just, can't handle it. Like, those things matter. They're paid, but I don't consider them full professionals like some people do.
No.
But to answer your question, I don't have those concerns because of, number one, there's certain beat reporters I trust. When they give certain opinions, they have sources, and they've said these before they've happened. So, like, I've heard that story about how Chris Ashley had to have a sit down, and the story is that Marcus did that. Now, has Notre Dame come out and publicly said that's what happened? No, but it doesn't matter. What really matters is what's going to happen moving forward. And so, no, I really think that was addressed. I think that was nipped in the butt, per se. And now, moving forward, they're on the same page. By the way, they've worked together in the past, Chris Ash and Marcus Freeman, at a couple different stops. So, like, they have an understanding. It's just, I think Chris Ash came in and thought he knew a certain scheme would work better, rather than, let me see what I have. Let me learn, like, the exact strengths of each player. What are their weaknesses? And let me fully cater to that. I think there were some assumptions made, and they got corrected, albeit too late. But this season, you've had the whole offseason plus the transition from the end of last year to really solidify this defense. And the reports after 2 practices so far with the beat writers that I trust, who I know have good sources, is that this is, like, an insanely athletic. This one reporter, he's been on the beat for 30 years. Like, he was in through Lou Holtz and, all of the bad coaching throughout the years. And he literally said, he's like, this is the most athletic defense I have seen in 30 years. It's not
Careful,
even close.
Connor. You're being
not
more
even
than
close.
You're being more than cautiously optimistic here, and we all know how that works out in the long run on this podcast. So
Why do you build me up, Buttercup? Just to let me down, baby. That's life as a Notre Dame fan.
When is football season starting?
September? Well, yeah, September is when week 1 is. I think there's a couple games in week 0 in the last weekend of August. But September is really when it starts off, that first week. So that's when it's going to be kicking off. Yes, sir.
It's coming. You're getting me excited. I'm not even a football kind of guy. So I don't know. That's quite an accomplishment. Look at me, all decked out in baseball.
That's right, bro. You've been excited by Notre Dame and your Diamondback. You're like learning all these new. This is a new world, man. But speaking of new fandoms, let's introduce a different one, and let's go in and talk to Christian about the Scarlet Knights, my friend. I want you to start off, if it's all right. Just what attracted you to the Scarlet Knights? You're the only Scarlet Knights fan I know, and I want to know what got you into them, and tell me about what's going on.
So the way I pick sports teams is kind of unconventional. So, like, with Rutgers, literally, when I was younger, it's just the name stuck out and it was cool. So, like, literally, that's how it started. That's how it started. Like I just, like, I saw that and I'm like, for whatever reason, that was attractive to me. And I kind of ran with that ever since. And something that really helped out me being a fan and getting into Rutgers football was, I forget which TV network it is. What am I actually might have been one of the local ones, which is kind of weird. I don't know. There used to be this Our Football show on that would go over, like, weekly, the recap and preparations for the week and everything. And that really got me into got me into Rutgers football, and I was able to keep up on it.
That's cool.
And that was probably like the 14, 15. Yeah, probably like 14, 15. And that got me into Rutgers. And I learned a lot about the teams then and just got into it. It just was into them ever since then. I'm not from New Jersey or anything like that.
No family from New Jersey, nothing?
No, nothing to do with it. I mean, but I'm also a Diamondbacks fan, a Packers fan, so go figure that out. But it tells you how I pick my teams. It's not conventional. But yeah, so with Rutgers...
I love it. I think it's great.
I got into them back when they were in the Big East. And then the American... Honestly, I don't even feel like that existed. It didn't last very long. But I miss the Big East, man. I miss the Big East. I think there was talk of, like, bringing it back or something. Dude...
We need to bring it back.
Gosh, the rivals with Louisville and, like, Connecticut and
yes, bro.
I forget the other teams now. It's been so long, but, like, dude, I miss that. But anyway, so basically, what happened was us in Maryland got promoted, shipped to the Big Ten, and basically we've been struggling to adjust ever since. And I finally feel like these past couple of years we're starting to get there, but it's been a constant like struggle to adjust to a much higher level of play. And that's been the big thing, but we're getting there. I love that we brought back Shiano. I think he's a really good coach. He's an excellent recruiter from what I'm to understand. He didn't work out in the NFL. I think just college is his game, and he's a good recruiter. And I like that he's back and running the program. I hope that he stays for years to come. I was just listening to something that if they don't start pulling it together, then maybe he could be on the hot seat. But my understanding is he has a long leash, and that that he will hopefully stay. As far as how last year was kind of actually a down year despite some good games. Our defense took a massive step back. I was just going through and looking at some of the scores in some of these games, and I'm like, dude, yeah, as we let up like 30 points to Ohio, not Ohio State, Ohio.
No,
so,
not the Bobcats,
like,
no.
We didn't lose that game, but bro,
Oh my gosh.
so
bro,
I
You're
had
Big
it
Ten.
pulled
What are
up
you
actually.
doing?
I was looking at it.
You're Big
Yeah, I
Ten.
mean 56 to Oregon, 31 to Minnesota, 38 to Iowa. Now, mind you, that QB.
Wait, Christian, hold. I got 38 to Iowa.
Yeah.
Iowa.
I remember watching that game. And it's like we could have won that game, but we choked it away. Now, part of it is because that QB just willed them to victory. I have to say, I'm impressed with him. But like, we still get 38 points to Iowa, bro.
Iowa is the out of the 130 such teams, they are known for the worst offense.
Oh, even I'm aware of
Year
Iowa,
to year.
dude. I'm aware of Iowa.
Yeah. So that happened.
This is this is a therapy session for you.
Yes. So we only won like 5 games last year, I think. I think so. But
that is not statistically average.
No. And our offense was actually good. We actually had a QB that got drafted in the 7th round.
Really?
In Kelly McManus. Yeah, Kelly McManus. Yeah, that guy. He got drafted in the 7th. We actually had a good passing game. It was weird. It was cool.
Interesting.
And we were gonna have we're gonna have new QB though, so we're gonna see how that goes. It's either gonna be a transfer from Boston College. His first name is Dylan, or a guy that was already with us in AJ. We'll see which one of those guys actually ends up starting. But we're not gonna have the same experience at QB. We lost Manungai to the draft. That was a couple years. No, it was last year. No, that was the year prior. We do return Antoine Raymond. So the biggest thing that Rutgers has going for us this year is our defense is supposed to be better. I was just looking up some things, and Shiano seems confident that they're going to be better. And they need to be. So going back to what made Rutgers good back in the day, their defense and their special teams, even more so. Known for blocking kicks, blocking punts, blocking field goals. We had like the best special teams that there was in the NCAA. And our defense was always really good. You think about like the McCourtney brothers in the NFL. I think they're both retired now, but like we had good defense. And then always the good running game. Ray Rice. In more recent history, Manungai. Before him, Pacheco. Before him, it's been a while. I have to remember, but we've had numerous guys that like the run game and good defense. I mean, we're literally set up to be a good Big Ten team because that's basically most Big Ten teams now. It is elite defense, good run it down your throat.
Yep.
Yes. So you need a good O-line. So we're gonna see how that goes this year. We do return Antoine Raymond, who was fantastic last year and had over 1,000 yards. We're returning KJ Duff, which was our top receiver. We did lose Ian Strong to Cal, but we return our top running back. We return our top receiver. We're going to have a new young QB. And the defense should be better. If this defense is actually better and there isn't a massive fall off in offense, we could actually win 6+ games. And actually looking at the schedule right now, I think 6 is very reasonable. I think it was reasonable last year. and I think there's a good chance to win 7. But you've got to beat one of like Michigan or Penn State, Indiana, USC, which honestly we could do. We almost beat Penn State last year.
Christian, I think you guys could snub one on Penn State. I think you guys could get that. Penn State's down. You could get them. You could get them.
We could.
That's still a tall order, man. It's still Penn State is still Penn State.
Well, yeah, and this is also we're gonna be away, so like you know,
it's at Penn State.
Yeah, this year.
That's a tough.
We do get Indiana. We do get Indiana and USC at home though, so like those are interesting games that you know.
Yeah,
maybe
that's interesting.
My problem with USC, I remember the last time we played them, we just got killed by their screen game. Like, it's not a type of, I think, offense that we're used to seeing.
Their receivers are so good. When they played the Irish last year, and Leonard Moore's going to be a top 5 pick as a cornerback. We've got 2 first or second round safeties, and they threw it all on us. They scored 24 points. Like, they scored more on us than I think any other team that year. Last year. So that USC with wide receiver core is always legit. They always got athletes out there. So they're a tough team. And Lincoln Riley, what an offensive mind. He's so creative. So yeah, but here's the thing. I think if you do pull it out against USC, it's the run game, because the way we beat them is you out physical them. It's the as you mentioned, offensive line, run game, maybe hit a couple quick shots here and there through the pass game, but play good defense and just hit them in the mouth right out the gate. That's the way you do it.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest things, especially for Rutgers, again, being in the Big Ten. You got to win in the trenches.
You got to.
Because otherwise you get a team like Michigan, are you going to let them bully you, or are you going to fight back?
100%.
These Big Ten O-lines are on par with SEC for the most part, and some of them are probably even better.
Absolutely.
So, you've got to have good trench play.
Yep.
Both sides.
Absolutely. So you're thinking about over under 6 wins. That's kind of what you're saying.
Looking at their schedule, I think 6 wins is reasonable and not overly optimistic nor pessimistic.
Okay. Well, that gets you into bowl game territory. So
yeah,
that's what you want. I mean,
we had made bowl games the prior 2 years before last year, so there's no reason why we can't.
Absolutely. Well, very cool, man. Well, I appreciate you sharing. You got any other Rutgers news or anything else you want to share about the team?
I don't think so. Our first game is September 3rd. We get UMass, so we better not allow 30 points to UMass.
Do you guys play Iowa again this year?
We do not.
Okay, good.
No, we get USC, Indiana, Maryland, Northwestern, Michigan, Wisconsin, Nebraska, Penn, and Michigan State.
Nebraska.
Good. I'm glad we don't have to face Oregon again.
No.
Hey, bro, they are so good this year. They're tough. They are tough.
Well, are we talking about the Ducks?
The Ducks, yeah.
Yes.
The Ducks? Okay. I know the Ducks.
The old Duckarooners.
I don't know many, but I do know the Ducks. Yeah.
Good stuff, man. Well, appreciate the recap of baseball and Rutgers here.
Mm-hmm.
You got any parting words for Rangers fans, Nate?
Oh, guys, we are officially statistically average. We need to change that, but we didn't sign nobody, so Chris Young, do something. Make something happen, boy. That's all I got.
And for Irish fans, buckle in. Let's watch camp. Let's see how it goes. September 5th. We're going to see you, Wisconsin, baby. All right, guys. Well, Christian, number one, I want to thank you so much for joining the podcast, man. This has been extremely enjoyable. Speaking for me and Nate, that was incredible just hearing all the knowledge on your teams. We really appreciate it. And for the listeners, thank you for joining in. This is Down and Out Statistically Average podcast. We appreciate your time. Until next time, go Irish, go Rangers, and go Scarlet Knights. We'll see you guys later.
Later.